Welcome back to ABC Big 2 News. Well, every day people across the Permian Basin face violence behind closed doors.
That's right, a lot of people do, but in Midland there's a place where survivors can find safety, strength, and a second chance. Here's Gabriela Meza with tonight's Highlighting Hope.
Inside the secured building off Andrews Highway sits a lifeline for victims of family violence. Safe Place of the Permian Basin has been serving West Texas for nearly 5 decades, providing shelter, counseling, and support for people trapped in abuse.
Safe Place has been around for about 48 years, and it started because people in the community were concerned. They were starting to see a lot of domestic violence among their neighbors and friends and throughout, the area. And so they began Safe Place as a response to that.
Today, the nonprofit serves 15 counties across the basin, offering emergency housing, legal advocacy, transportation, and education programs that help survivors restart their lives.
The services that we provide include everything from counseling and advocacy, but also transportation, making sure that the kids are in school, services for the parents that may need a GED or want to go on and get a degree.
From diapers and clothing to school coordination and job training, staff members handle nearly every detail of recovery, but the first step often begins with a phone call.
But I would say the most important service that we provide is a 24-hour hotline, and that way we can make sure they get, first of all, out of the difficult situation, and then if they eventually need to come into shelter, we get them here in a safe way that way.
In 2024 alone, more than 5,200 domestic violence incidents were reported across Safe Place's 15 county service area. Midland and Ector counties accounted for the majority, evidence of how urgent the need remains.
Misconceptions regarding domestic violence is that people can just leave. And there's also a misconception about domestic violence being always physical. A lot of it is mental.
Good says most victims face isolation, fear, and financial control long before any physical harm. It's why Safe Place works to reach them early through community education and a court-mandated program for offenders known as Project Adam.
We also have a program called Project Adam, and it's a multi-month program where generally men, but sometimes women, are ordered by the court to come and learn about what they're doing as betterers. Education is everything.
Even with prevention efforts, Safe Places staff see the headlines almost every day. Cases that end in tragedy because help came too late.
Almost every day there's a domestic violence report that has ended in a fatality. And we don't want that to happen.
Still, the victories like the families who leave here with hope, homes, and new starts are what keep the team going.
Anybody in a domestic violence situation needs to know, first of all, that they're not alone, but they have help getting out. And if they need a place to stay, if they need shelter, we've got a great place here now.
Safe Place relies on community donations and volunteers to keep those doors open, offering safety and stability for hundreds each year who otherwise might have nowhere else to turn. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, you can call the Safe Place hotline at 1-800-967-8928 or reach local law enforcement by dialing 911. Safe Place of the Permian Basin reminds everyone that help is here and the hope is real. Reporting for your Highlighting Hope, I'm Gabriela Meza.